You know, it still shocks me how I was able to watch the race today at school, all from second period all the way to the fourth period, and going through lunch and third period and stuff. And then it was cool and all, but at the end of the day, it still questions me on why aren't some of these races at noon? Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Drydene 400 from, well actually no, the 2022 DuraMAX Drydene 400 from Dover Motor Speedway. Not Dover International Speedway, Dover Motor Speedway. That is correct, now owned from SMI. Heck, I even saw a clip of Marcus Smith literally outside greeting fans with their tickets who were just coming back to watch the race and stuff on a Monday. So that was actually pretty cool. But anyway, we had to run a race on a Monday. This is the first Monday race of the season so far. Hopefully it's the only one and stuff. So it kind of sucks because you saw the attendance yesterday at Dover. It looked really good. It looked really stacked, but then you saw bits and pieces missing because some people decided not to go in for work, or some people actually did go in for work. But anyway, we had a race. Chase Elliott gets his first win of the season. We had some tensions between a certain driver sitting in third place right now. But anyway, before we go begin, we're going to go ahead and just talk about what we're going to do. Have the top 10 finishers. We're going to rate the race. We're going to talk about the big story of the race or coming out of the race. Then we're going to look at our drivers of the day and we'll end it from there. So let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing in first was Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott gets the win at Dover, his second win at Dover, his 14th career win, his first of the season, and also now all 400 cars are in the playoffs, and this is the second year in a row that all 4 cars have made the playoffs and won a race. Second year in a row, so that's really good. Also, this is Chase Elliott's first oval track win since he won his championship back in Phoenix in 2020. So definitely something to really congratulate Chase Elliott for, because last year fans were kind of skeptical of Elliott, how he would do in the playoffs, because he only won 2 races at COTA, or the rain shortened race at COTA, and at Road America. So it was kind of confusing on what was going on with Chase Elliott, but Chase Elliott able to get the win here today, and heck, he's the points leader right now, so nothing really to sweat off for Chase Elliott, so I think he'll have a better season than he did last year. And also, here's another fun fact. The first 3 Hendrick drivers to win last year were Byron, Larson, and Bowman, and then Elliott won. And then same thing here, Byron, Bowman, and Larson, first 3 Hendrick drivers to win this year, and Elliott's the last. So this second year in a row, Elliott is the last Hendrick car to get their first win of the season. So you're seeing a bit of a trend here, but it's only 2 years in a row, so it shouldn't really hurt. But I still do think Chase Elliott will have a better season than he did last year. But congrats to Chase Elliott and the 9 team. Finishing in second was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse has been on a terrible start to this season. Finished 28th at the Daytona 500 after he was wrecked out, 21st at Las Vegas, 28th at Phoenix, 31st, 37th, 28th, 27th, 29th, 30th. This guy just could not catch a break. But this is his second top 10 finish of the season and his first top 5, and is also his best finish of the season after he started 15. So that's really good for Stenhouse. Had a really good strong run, so it's really good to see some of these drivers pop off and get a nice solid run here today, especially for Stenhouse, because they just had inconsistent season. They've been getting into other people's messes and they've been just wrecking out and stuff, but finally his first top 10 since Auto Club earlier this year, so really good for Stenhouse in the 4017. Finishing in third was Ross Chastain. Another strong run for Ross Chastain after winning at Talladega last week. I don't know how many top 5s this is for Chastain, but another strong run by the 1 team, and he had a bit of a run-in with Mark Truex Jr., and we'll get to that later, but let's just say they were looking for somewhere to fish. But anyway, Chastain had a decent run today. He definitely had like a top 5, top 10 car all day. He wasn't the car to beat and stuff. He could have been. It just depends, because I haven't really seen him go off against Chase Elliott or some other Hendrick drivers. But a nice solid day for Ross Chastain, just having a really good consistent season, and we just got to continue to see more of that out of the 1 team. Finishing in fourth was Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, the highest finishing Toyota coming out of this race. He finally keeps it, because we remember Martinsville, he was the highest one and then he fell off. But this time he gets it, so congrats. There's Christopher Bell. He gets fourth place. This is his first top 5 finish since Coda. So they had a really decent race. They didn't really have the best. They did pretty decent in qualifying. Well, actually not really that decent. They started like 17th, but they were maneuvering their way throughout the field, and so even though it's very hard to pass at Dover, not just, it seemed like harder to pass at Dover today than its history and stuff, but still a decent, nice, strong run for the 20 team. Nothing really to say. They were pretty quiet all day, but they snuck their way up into the top 5. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was my boy Alex Bowman, getting a nice solid 5th place finish after he won here a year ago. A nice solid finish for the 48 team. That's what, 3 straight top 10 finishes now. His first top 5 since, I believe, not Auto Club. Why would I say that? Circuit of the Americas. So a nice strong run for the 48 team as well. They looked pretty good. Him and Kyle Busch were definitely one of the fastest drivers at the beginning of the stage, and then a caution came out and that kind of knocked them off, and then they just had to maneuver their way through. But it's hard to pass here at Dover. They just ran out of laps, and unfortunately they were able to get a 5th and 7th place for Kyle Busch and stuff. But still a nice, decent, strong run for the 48 team. Finishing in 6th was Kyle Larson. What a comeback for Kyle Larson, because I remember in stage 2 Larson spun out. I think he had like a tire down, like he just like got loose, and it was probably a tire when he was coming out of turn 4, and he was the race leader. So you saw like a lot of drivers up front, or yeah, a couple of drivers up front just wreck and stuff. They just spun out and stuff. So it does suck for Larson. He qualified 3rd and ends up getting a 6th place finish. I mean, that's still 3 straight top 10 finishes, which is good, but I just have to say, what a comeback from Larson. And they had so much damage on their right front, and they fixed it, and he was able to come back, get a nice solid top 10 finish. So congrats, and a nice solid comeback for Larson and the 5 team. Finishing in 7th was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch had a pretty decent day. He had a decent day in qualifying on Saturday. He was the fastest Toyota. It was Bubba Wallace who was the fastest Toyota, but still a decent qualifying position for Kyle Busch. He started in 10th and gets a nice solid 7th place finish. It could have gone better for him and Alex Bowman, but that caution coming out while those two were on pit road definitely knocked them off and stuff. But Kyle Busch rebounded after restarting 16th, 17th to get a 7th place finish. So this is technically 5 straight top 10 finishes for Kyle Busch. Yeah, he has not finished outside the top 10 in the month of April and to start off May. And heck, it's Kyle Busch's birthday. A lot of people thought he'd go 3 for 3 on his birthday, but no, not this year. He'll just have to deal with a 7th place finish. Finishing in 8th was my boy, the most underrated driver in the Cup Series, Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher started first today. I believe this was his first or second career pole. I think it was his first career pole. He got it on Saturday. He was a complete shock for me, because you see him running turns 3 and 4 really well, and then you just see some other drivers not run it as well as him, or just kind of struggled there. But Buescher got the pole. He led a decent amount of laps and stuff, and at the end of the day gets a nice solid top 10 finish. He gets 8th. That's his first top 10 finish since, I believe, Atlanta, so that's really good for him. And the 17 team trying to push their way into the playoffs, so a nice solid finish for Chris Buescher and the 17 team. They just need some more consistent runs like that to make themselves into the playoffs. Finishing in 9th was Kevin Harvick. Once again, this was kind of like a somewhat quiet day for Ford. Only 2 Fords finished in the top 10, 0 in the top 5 and stuff. But Harvick had a decent day. He was definitely one of the drivers who was on the move. He was definitely one of the best drivers, I thought, on restarts. He started 11th, gets a 9th place finish. So that's 2 straight top 10 finishes for Kevin Harvick. So a decent race. He was pretty quiet, but he was definitely in the top 10 area. He was also in the top 15 area. So he was there and stuff, and he was passing some cars. So a nice decent day for Kevin Harvick and the Ford team. Still looking for their first win of the season. And finally, rounding out the top 10 and 10th was Erik Jones. A nice, strong run for Erik Jones. Even though he had a bit of a run-in with Joey Logano, I think Jones made contact with Logano and stuff when they were switching lanes and Logano went around. I don't know, I have to go back check the replay, but a decent race for Erik Jones after he started 25th in the race and gets 10. So that's 2 straight top 10s for Erik Jones after finishing abysmal 6th after he should have won at Talladega last week. But a nice, solid 10th place finish for the 43 team. And now let's rate this race. So coming into this race, I was kind of wondering how would the cars react to this track and stuff, because we already know Dover has had a history of not being one of the tracks hard to pass at, just like a Richmond and stuff. And we've had like our short oval races, like we've had a Phoenix. It wasn't really the best race. It was decent. Martinsville was terrible. Richmond wasn't good. And now we have here, I mean, Bristol Dirt doesn't really count as a dirt track and stuff, but now we head on to Dover, another short concrete oval, 1 mile and stuff, but still pretty decent sized track. And out of like all like the somewhat 1 mile tracks, this had to be like the best one in my opinion, I have to say. Was it better than Phoenix? I'd say sort of, kind of. Definitely better than Martinsville. In my opinion, definitely better than Richmond. I'm not going to count Bristol Dirt, but I think this was so far one of the best short oval races that we've had and stuff. I mean, it races differently. It's kind of high banked and stuff, so you can kind of see it as an intermediate or as a short oval, however you put it and stuff. But it was a pretty decent racing and stuff. We just had some tire issues throughout the day and stuff. I mean, we had, I don't know how many tire issues. Reddick had a tire issue and stuff, and he also spun out later in the race. Ty Dillon had one. I said Larson had one, Allmendinger had one, and Cody Ware spun out, took out Hamlin. Oh my goodness. But we had a lot of tire issues and stuff. But this race was pretty decent. It wasn't that bad and stuff. So if I had to rate this one, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. A solid 7. It wasn't the best racing. Dover isn't one of those tracks to where like, oh, once we go there, it's going to be hectic and stuff. Nah, that was Dover back in the 2010s where it was hectic. But Dover's gotten old and stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. And heck, there's rumors that Dover may not even be on the schedule next year because there could be some new tracks coming in, like a Nashville Fairgrounds or some other tracks coming in. So we'll just have to wait and see. But Dover, it was pretty decent, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. Okay, now it's time to talk about our story of the race. Was the Chastain Truex incident on the last lap. So basically through the replay that I saw, if I can recall, Truex had a bit of a run on to Ross Chastain coming out of turn 2, going down the backstretch, and then the 19 was trying to get to his outside, and then Chastain kind of crowded him up and drove him off a bit loose, and then Truex just came down and just got loose and then just spun out. And Truex was looking at a potential 4th place finish, but instead finished P12 and stuff. He was unhappy. He went talked over to Ross Chastain, and they were running against each other throughout the day and stuff. And then Truex just stormed off. So I think that's one to remember, because Chastain, I don't know, this guy's making enemies. Like, first we had that incident with Blaney back at Richmond. Now we have this. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've had a couple others, but dang, you're running in with the veterans. And then Chastain even said in his interview, we got beat by a champion. He said something like that. But he also said, like, talking about where they going to finish. So, yeah, it shows that it didn't really go well, but we'll just actually see if they actually go fishing and stuff and maybe drink a beer on it or two, but we'll see. So you can already tell Truex is not happy. So, Chastain, if I'm you, buddy, I kind of expect something coming here pretty soon, because where are we headed to next week? We're going to Kansas? No, Darlington. So Darlington, we'll see what happens there. Truex is really good there. Chastain, he's pretty decent. He ran pretty good there in the Xfinity Series when he was there a couple times, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, and if I had to say it myself, I think it was kind of on Chastain, because Chastain clearly was kind of crowded him up. Truex was definitely there, and then just drove Truex loose, and Truex couldn't really save it. And so it just sucks for Martin Truex Jr., just trying to get a good finish. Heck, if Truex would have finished in 4th, I believe, that would actually been, his first top 10 finish since... Oh, no, actually, he got one at Talladega. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that Truex got a top 5 at Talladega. I'm sorry, because I don't expect him to do good at super speeds. But anyway, that's the biggest story of the race. Let me know, was it Chastain's fault or was it on Truex? My bet is Chastain. And then for overall driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Chase Elliott. He was definitely one of the most consistent ones running inside the top 10 in my opinion. And he basically took their heck, not really top 10, but top 5. I mean, I could have given this award or this choice to other drivers like a Hamlin or a Larson, but those two had issues throughout the day. Elliott was fairly clean as a top 10 all day and gets the win at the end of the day. So Chase Elliott is the driver of the day. Now for underdog driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Chris Buescher. Underrated driver, able to get the pole, something that we all did not see coming. And then he was able to stay up there for a pretty decent, a decent while. And then able to get a nice solid top 10 finish. I mean, I don't really expect him to win the race. I mean, if he got a top 10, I'd still be like, you know, pretty good for him, because you have some other drivers that are better than him in the sport that could have finished better. Like, for instance, like Team Penske was a no-show. Don't get me started with Cindric. Logano, he had an incident with Jones, but he was still running terrible. Was running like in 24th. And then Blaney, he won stage 2, and after that, gone and stuff. So I'll say Chris Buescher was the underdog driver of the day. I could have said like an Erik Jones or Justin Haley, who finished 11th, but I'm going to give it to my boy Chris Buescher. Now for comeback driver of the day, obviously Kyle Larson, who spun out during stage 2 after a tire went down. He was leading the race, and then that happened. So it does suck for Kyle Larson since that happened. But then they were able to rebound, fix their car up, put some tape on it, and they're able to come back and get a decent 6th place finish. So comeback driver of the day goes to Kyle Larson. Oh boy, okay. It's obvious, guys. The unlucky driver of the day is Denny Hamlin. Hamlin was doing so good to start off on Sunday, and then just could not finish it on Monday. He won stage 1 though today, but then immediately after stage 1, he loses a tire as he exits pit road. The lug that was not tight enough, and it's so funny how he loses a tire almost like Sam Mayer did on Saturday in the Xfinity race after he won stage 1, but unlike Hamlin, Sam Mayer came back to finish 5th. Hamlin finished 21st because he had a whole lot of other crap happen. Because after Hamlin lost the tire, of course, he had to come back and stuff. He had to start at the tail end of the field. He was running there with Bubba Wallace, and then he got taken out by Cody Ware because Cody Ware spun and then collect Hamlin and stuff. Because you know how Dover is and stuff. Once you spin up top, you're gonna go low. Gravity and crap. So Hamlin had damage there, almost opened his car like a can opener, and then he got caught speeding on pit road in the final stage. So it just went from ugly, bad to worse for Denny Hamlin. He had 3 incidents after he had three incidents after winning stage 1. Losing a tire after exiting pit road, got caught up with Cody Ware's spin and had damage, and then had a speeding penalty. So it does suck for Denny Hamlin in the 11 team, so he's the unlucky driver of the day. And so that would do it for today's video. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of this race down in the comment section below. While you're at it, if you want to check out my gaming channel, NASCAR Gaming 48, link will be down in the description below. Should be uploading a video on that channel tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss that. Also, if you want to check out my Instagram, link will also be down in the description below. And subscribe to this channel. I should be having my reaction video to some new throwback paint schemes up pretty soon, later this week, so make sure you guys are subscribe to this channel so you don't miss that. We're at 183 subs, so let's keep the amount of views and subs going. Really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. So that's gonna do it for today. See you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your Monday. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.